Welcome back to the Super Not Funny Show Reviews. And today I'm reviewing The Wonder Years Season 2, Episode 3. It's entitled Football Team. It's coming to you from ABC and streaming on Hulu. So, what did I think about it, and should you be watching? Before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Football Team is all about that time-honored tradition, at least in American, in this particular, in the South, middle school boys going out for the football team. And, it's been quite a summer. The previous year, Dean and his friends were kind of on the low end of the pecking order, but not this year because there's no cuts in 7th grade football. So they're excited to get out there. Unfortunately, Broderick is devastated over the breakup with Keisa that happened in the previous episode, and so they're worried that the football team's going to be crap. And of course, Dean knows that he's the reason why that Broderick and Keisa aren't together anymore. So he's just trying to keep it moving, but circumstances aren't going to align with his desires. In the B plot, Kim, she's actually a really great student, and she's worked it out so that she has a free couple of periods in the morning, and her parents encourage her to go to the college where Bill works and take college courses. And that leads her to discover a couple things. One, that her dad's kind of a popular teacher, and all the corny, in her mind, stuff that he says to her is actually useful advice to college students. And two, college guys. And much to Bill's chagrin, he has to, figure out how to feel about the fact that one of his students, who he happens to like as a person and thinks is actually a really good guy, wants to date his daughter. And, they kind of play up early on that Bill kind of did a hands-off approach and let the mom do all the parenting. And so, obviously, in this one, he's going to have to do some actual parenting. And he tries some reverse psychology to keep her dating this college guy who seems again to have a good head on his shoulders, and it kind of brings their two worlds, which normally wouldn't have been together, to come together. And so, I mean, I'm not to spoil too much about this episode, but compared to the first two episodes of this season, I actually think this episode was great. In all the ways that actually matter. Dean getting to be, he's the main character. Him getting, and his drama getting to be front and center. That was fun. All of kind of like the gags and the fun stuff about, their bench warming, but then they get out there to kind of decide, Dean's like, we got to make Broderick look good so he'll feel good and then he'll play good. And so, of course, they're the worst people on the team, so they figure to get out there. But in the process, they kind of make him look worse. And it leads, Broderick to sort of decide that he's going to beat up, the smallest of their friends, thinking that he's the reason that Keisa, he's like Keisa was messing around with somebody. And we're reminded that Dean's actually a good kid when he kind of cops to it. And unfortunately, that ruins a friendship for him, but also kind of puts Keisa in a bad situation. And Dean just trying to do the right thing still ends up kind of jacking everything up. And, but he takes the fall just to, to be a good friend and to save his friend from, being hurt, but also to get Broderick kind of back on the right track. And it's unfortunate for him to have to be that guy, but, he's learning, a hard lesson about doing the right thing in the first damn place. But it was all quite funny, and I enjoyed it. But my favorite part of this episode really was, Bill being a dad, trying to be a more progressive dad probably than his father was, and letting his daughter date a college guy, which, that's way more maybe way less progressive than maybe it is now, but actually knowing this guy was a good guy and then having to sort of deal with the fallout of the fact that it just doesn't quite work out. And maybe not because he came on too strong, it was pushing too hard for it because they really liked the guy, but just because sometimes things just don't work out. And having to explain that to a high school girl, I think she's 16 or 17, probably 17, and having to explain that, and that she really liked the guy and was feeling like this breakup maybe was more of a reflection on who she is and who she attracts as a person. And I think it was a very emotional scene at the very end where, he doesn't really have anything to, I mean, he says the obvious thing like, I'll give him an F, but he just doesn't have any real advice or any good sayings, and just is a dad right there to just hug her and kind of validate her worth. I love it. I think the thing is that, first of all, Dule Hill, underrated. I think he's underrated as an actor, but he's actually absolutely great as Bill in this. And just Kim, she's, we normally see her, she's funny and she's always has real good jokes and everything. She's real quick like that. She's real smart and everything like that. But, some of these things do kind of get under her skin or hurt her. And she, had a moment of, vulnerability with her father that maybe he hadn't been equipped to deal with before. But as she's gotten older, he's gotten older. It was an opportunity where he actually, could just be there for her in a way maybe he hadn't done before. So overall, I think it was a great episode. Definitely a showcase of why this show is so good. And that, I think if it's an episode you just stumbled into, you hadn't seen before, it really would showcase to you like the dynamics between characters that make this show work. And I loved it. So anyway, what did you guys think about this episode? What did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And do me a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps with the algorithm so that more people see these videos, and it helps to grow this channel. All right, thanks for joining me. Come back next week. We're going to talk about episode 4 of The Wonder Years, Season 2. Until then, I've been Mo, your comment extraordinaire, all things pop culture, and I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.